Hello, this is Coy, and welcome to the Eclectic Cottage. Thanks for joining me today for day 59 of the 100-day project. Okay, I am pulling out the journals, the current journals that we're working on, the Dia de los Muertos. And again, we're either 6 months early or 6 months late for the Day of the Dead, but that's what we're working on today. And okay, we've kind of come a long way because we're turning the camera on every single day. I am taking you along step by step through the whole process because even though I have done a lot of videos regarding the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and I use a 3-hole pamphlet stitch to sew my signatures in 95, 96, 97% of the time, and that's what I am going to be doing today. And again, because we're turning the camera on every single day to see what's going on in the journal making process, that's what we're going to do. Now, one thing, I have been busy. I have been doing a little bit here. I have the pages. I have the pages in order that I would like to have them installed in the books. And I'm pretty good with it. I did change it from 2 to 3 signatures. I have a habit of doing that. Only because we had the extra space. I have the 1-inch spine. I had the extra space and the extra papers here in front of me. So we're doing 3 signatures instead of 4. Now, for anybody that's new, if you don't know how to do the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, let me go over my process with you. Doesn't mean it's the only process, doesn't mean it's the best process. This is my process, and I am sharing what I know with you. All right, so normally I take a piece of paper and I fold it in half, a strip of paper, and make sure that it's about the same height as my journal cover. Okay, fold it so it's folded in half, long way. Then I fold it in half, and then I fold down again. And that's how I find out where my holes are going to go. So everything's even, they're coming out the same every time. And I put a T at the top. All right, let's put a T at the top. And in order to find I've already poked the holes. In order to find out where the holes were going, we did a 1-inch spine, if you recall. If not, if you haven't watched the past couple videos, you may want to go back and take a look. Okay, 1-inch spine. What I do first is find the very center, okay, of the spine, and I make my center hole, and then all the rest of the holes go accordingly. So, made my hole here, then I come up and I make my hole here, I make my hole here, and that is the center. That is for the center signature, and the other signatures just go, you know, one to the left and one to the right. One to the left of it, one to the right. Okay? So now we have the holes for the signatures. I have my signatures. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. So I usually put the center signature in first. I don't think there's a real reason. That's just the way I do it. So that's, you know, the way that I'm going to explain it to you. And this is my little book binding kit. I'll need my paper clips. I'll need some thread. And why am I not seeing my big needle? Oh no, here it is. I got scared there for a minute. Oh my goodness. My big needle is always, this is a magnet. I put a magnet in here. It sticks to the, you know, to the tin can. And I just leave my needle stored there. I kind of panicked there for a second when I didn't see it. And then this is my pokey tool, my awl. And that should be all that we need. All that we need. Oh, let me put this stuff back, because I don't need that. My Brighton sunglass case. I haven't lost my tools, or not lost them, but I haven't misplaced my tools since I put them in that little can. It's always easy to find. It's always on my desk. It fits great. Nothing spills out. So a sunglass case works good. And it holds everything that I need in my kit. All right, I use paper clips on each side to make sure that the pages are not going to move around on me. And let's see. And because the cover is always a little bit larger than the pages, I make sure to put an even amount, let it hang over an even amount on the top and on the bottom. And mark my holes. Try to use a pencil. I also have an erasable pen, fabric pen, that I use a lot. Here it is, and it has an eraser on it. So sometimes I use a fabric pen or a pencil, but I like it to be erasable. All right, I'm going to put my holes. Let's do it in, well, we'll do them one at a time. Okay. All right, so how are all of you doing today? What's going on your desk? Tell me a little bit about if you're a journal maker, tell me a little bit about your bookbinding process. Do you use pamphlet stitch, or do you like to vary your different, bindings that you use? I know, Louise, if you're watching, I know that you use a lot of different techniques, a lot of different ways of attaching. I just usually use the one that works best for me. It's worked all these years. And I don't do like the accordion styles and the, fabric spine and the, all the different fancy things. I just usually end up with the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. All right, and I use, because it's what I have, it's what's in my stash, I use embroidery floss. If I were going out to purchase specifically for bookbinding, I would probably select something different. Oh, why am I doing this? I'm doing the underneath part. I would probably select a waxed bookbinding thread, but because I have so much of this is what I use. And I usually cut my thread 3 times the length of my page, and that makes them just about right. I use a large needle, a tapestry needle, because the old eyes ain't what they used to be. And I like to have a little piece of tape. I'll use this since it's already here. I like to have a little piece of tape. This is washi, to tape down my end just so I don't pull it through. It's not necessary. It's just something that I do, because I have pulled it through before. All right, and I go in through the inside of the book. You can also start from the outside of the book if you want your threads to end up on the outside. If you want to tie it and have your little dangly threads on the outside, you can start on the outside of the book. But I like mine on the inside, so that's where I start. So I go in the very center, and I'm doing the middle signature. So in through the center hole, I go up to the top hole. It doesn't really matter if you go top to bottom. I just, 90% of the time, I go to top. So that's what I'm saying to you. Okay. And then all the way down to the bottom hole. I hear the rain starting outside. Okay, and then back through the center. And this is the place where you want to be the most careful. You want to make sure that you're not splicing your thread in any way. Yep, the very last hole is where you need to be the most careful. Okay. You want your needle on the opposite side as your tail here. So you end up with a thread on either side of the, what a lot of people like to call the bridge. And I may have spliced somewhere, so let me check. Okay, and then you want to make sure it's tight, taut, not overly tight, but taut. Could go a little bit tighter. Now, okay, right over left, left over right. And you can leave your tails longer if you'd like, but I'm not going to tie any, I don't plan on tying any beads or anything to it. So, there you go, signature, first signature's in. And we'll do it again and again. One, two, three. All right, and we are moving along with our journals. I don't have any ephemera made at all, none. So we're starting from scratch on the ephemera. We'll probably start with pockets first. I like to get pockets on the inside covers, on the front and the back, so I can stash things in there as we're working. You wonder why I have a big-eyed needle. It's for this reason right here, because even with the, let me try the other end. Even with the big-eyed needle, I still sometimes have a little trouble threading. Not usually this much, though. There we go. Thank goodness. All right, now let's do the first signature. Let's get our paper clips on there. may help if you use your ruler to, you know, to get the pages squished down together. Squished. Like that terminology? Super terminology. Okay, I guess I'm putting the cart before the horse. All right, here is our page. Again, T is for the top. We're going to put that at the top of our signature. And you want to make sure, it's really important, I've already done this part, but make sure that all of your pages are right side up, not upside down, because there's nothing more discouraging than figuring out you've sewn in your signature and now you need to, you know, undo it and start over. Okay, so you want to have the same amount of room over at the top as on the bottom. And let's get our holes marked. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And our pokey tool are all, get our holes in there. A lot of people have extra, they have the cradle, use a cradle or a book. I don't usually find the need for that. That all works well enough for me. Gigi. Okay, in through the center hole. Up to the top. All the way down to the bottom. And carefully come back up through the center hole again. Okay, this is where we want to be careful that we're not, when I say splice, we don't want to make sure that we're not sticking our needle through the thread, splicing the thread with a needle. No, 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 we don't want to do that. And it's easy to do. Okay. We want to get it tight. Taut, but not overly tight. Make sure it's tight on the inside and the outside. Just double check. Right over left, left over right, Boy Scout, square knot. Trim our tail. Okay, cute. Looking good. And let's get that last signature sewn in. Again, you want to double check to make sure that everything's right side up, not upside down. I've already done that, but I'm just going over it again. Paper clips. T for the top. Make sure we're evenly spaced. We have the same amount of room at the top of the page as at the bottom of the page, so that we're centered. And we'll mark our spots. 1, 2, 3. Why is that not showing up as well as I'd like it to? Okay. With our awl, we're going to poke our holes. Yeah, I see people with those cradles, and at first I thought, oh yeah, I need to have one of those, but I don't want one more thing to have to keep on my desk. I don't. You know, we may want to, be very careful as you're, starting this, junk journaling, as you're starting this craft. Be very careful that you're not overdoing it. You're not getting more stuff than you need. Okay, you need a lot less than you think you do. You see people using this or people using that, and you think that you need one of everything. You don't. You need very basic tools to get started. All right, and let's get our last signature sewn in. I'm going to go ahead and just do this one journal with you all here, and then I'll do the other two offline. By the time we come back for our next video, the other two will be sewn in also. Let me know if you're new to journaling and you're feeling a little unsure about sewing in your signatures. Let me know in the comment section below, because it's one of the things that I think holds people back. People start collecting the stuff, and they start watching the videos, and they start, having thoughts and ideas in their mind. But a lot of people just never get started because they're afraid of sewing in the signature. They're afraid of not getting things perfect. They think it's very difficult. And oh my gosh, I could never do that. Well, you can. It's just a needle and thread. Okay, we're going in through the center hole. Up to the top hole. Do not let sewing in the signature hold you back from starting a journal. Okay? It's just, all we're doing is poking a hole. And these, you can get this for $3 on Amazon. Okay? So it's not like it's an expensive, that it's expensive to get started in binding your book. It's really not. You need a needle, you need some thread, and you need an awl. And if you don't have an awl, there are other things you can, in my kit, you'll see in my little kit, I'm going to show you right now. I have in this kit, this is an eyeglass screwdriver. Okay, everybody probably has one of these around somewhere. It's an eyeglass screwdriver, and I have used this once when I lost my awl. It fell down behind my desk, and I couldn't find it for a week. I used that eyeglass screwdriver to poke my holes. So there are things that can be used without buying the awl, but again, you can get one for $3 or $4. It's, very inexpensive. So all right, we want to be tight but not overly tight. Right over left, left over right. Trim our tails. Take off our clips. And there you have it. We now have a journal. All right, now we can start getting to the fun stuff, which is, you know, filling it up, decorating it a little bit. We'll put some kind of pockets in them. I think we're going to do one of the journals together. I'll be doing the other one, the other ones offline. As we're making ephemera, if it's, you know, if we're working on something special, we'll make 3 of them. You know, little mass make to make 3 of them so that we have, you know, plenty to use. But this is fun, and that's going to do it for today. That's what's going on at the Eclectic Cottage today in the art room. And thank you all for joining me, for keeping me company. Thank those of you that keep coming back every day and, you know, leaving your comments and, you know, giving a reaction, hitting that like button. And for those of you that have subscribed, I think that we're over our, at about 350 subscribers at this point. And I'm hoping that that is going to increase a little bit. And I'm going to say goodbye for now. Me and Chi-Chi are going to go take a little break. And I'll see you real soon. Bye.